All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Abhishek Kumar. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds talks with French President Emmanuel Macron, India and France to expand cooperation in areas of counter-terrorism and security. French President says India and Pakistan should resolve Kashmir issue bilaterally and no third party should interfere or incite violence in the region. CBDT says small startups with turnover up to 25 crore rupees to continue to get the promised taxed holiday. Chandrayaan-2 sends first picture of moon's surface taken by Vikram lander. And in badminton, PV Sindhu advances to quarterfinals of BWF World Championships in Basel, Switzerland. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held talks with French President Emmanuel Macron last night. The two leaders first held one-on-one meeting, which was followed by the delegation-level talks at Château de Chantilly, about 50 kilometers north of Paris. The two leaders reviewed the entire gamut of the dynamic and multifaceted bilateral relations during their more than 90-minute-long one-on-one meeting. After the delegation-level talks, the two countries signed 4 MOUs. Addressing a joint press conference with French President, Prime Minister Modi said the relationship between India and France is not based on selfishness but on solid ideals of liberty, equality and fraternity. He said India and France stand firm together to meet the challenges of climate change, environment and technology-inclusive development.
फ्रांस और भारत कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आजादी और लोकतंत्र की रक्षा की है, फासिज्म और एक्सट्रीमिज्म का मुकाबला किया है। फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर के दौरान हजारों भारतीय सैनिकों का बलिदान आज भी फ्रांस में याद किया जाता है। आज आतंकवाद, क्लाइमेट चेंज, एनवायरमेंट और टेक्नोलॉजी के समावेशी विकास की चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए फ्रांस और भारत एक साथ मजबूती से खड़े।
He said India and France will expand cooperation in counter-terrorism and security.
दोनों देशों को आतंकवाद और रेडिकलाइजेशन का लगातार सामना करना पड़ रहा है। क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म का मुकाबला करने में हमें फ्रांस का बहुमूल्य समर्थन और सहयोग मिला है। इसके लिए हम प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रो का धन्यवाद देते हैं। हमने सिक्योरिटी और काउंटर टेररिज्म पर सहयोग को व्यापक बनाने का इरादा किया है। मैरीटाइम और साइबर सिक्योरिटी में भी हमारे बढ़ते सहयोग को और मजबूत करने का फैसला भी हमने किया है।
Both leaders reaffirmed that terrorism cannot be justified on any grounds whatsoever and it should not be associated with any religion, creed, nationality and ethnicity. Both leaders also agreed to work for early convening of the global conference proposed by India to tackle the threat of terrorism around the world. The two leaders also agreed to enhance their cooperation and launch fresh efforts to prevent and fight radicalization, especially online radicalization. Identifying defense industrial cooperation as one of the mainstays of the strategic partnership between India and France, the two leaders reaffirmed their commitment to further strengthen cooperation in this field. The French President said that India and Pakistan should resolve the Kashmir issue bilaterally and no third party should interfere or incite violence in the region. He said France will deliver first of the 36 Rafale fighter jets to India next month.
हमने ये भी उनको भरोसा दिलाया है कि हम मेक इन इंडिया को भी हम पूरा करेंगे। ये एक सामूहिक हमारे लिए निर्णय है। बहुत ही जरूरी है कि इसके हम आतंकवाद के खिलाफ लड़ सकें, हम पूरे क्षेत्र में जो है शांति बनाए रख सकें और हम सॉवरेनिटी को भी बनाए रखें। आप जानते हैं कि पहला जो राफेल का जो विमान है वो अगले महीने भारत पहुंच जाएगा और ये हमारे लिए बहुत ही बड़ी बात है।
Our correspondent covering the Prime Minister's visit has filed this report.
India and France have decided to further their friendship bond in areas including space, digital technology, civil nuclear, skill development and cyber security. French President Emmanuel Macron wanted Bollywood films shooting to take place in France. India's achievement in Chandrayaan mission, research in Venus and Mars was highly praised by the French President. Prime Minister Modi applauded Mr. Macron for having a new vision in development in key sectors. He will be meeting with Prime Minister of France, Edward Charles Philippe. He will also address the Indian community and later depart for United Arab Emirates. With Nitin Kelkar, Joy, reporting from Paris.
From France, Mr. Modi will travel to the United Arab Emirates where he will receive the Order of Zayed, the highest civilian decoration conferred by the UAE government. He will hold talks with Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and also formally launch RuPay card to expand the network of cashless transactions abroad. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter @AIR News Alerts.
रत्ना काकी, नगमा दीदी, रोजी आंटी, सोनू काका, प्रकाश भैया, सबको बुलाओ, तैयार हो जाओ, मिलके करेंगे गांव का नाम रोशन, होगी जब स्वच्छता की परीक्षा।
जब गांव वाले लगे परिवार जैसे, तो हुआ ना गांव भी घर जैसा। तो चलो मिलके गांव को भी घर जैसा साफ रखते हैं और अपना नाम रोशन करते हैं। गांव की परीक्षा मतलब स्वच्छ सर्वेक्षण ग्रामीण शुरू हो चुकी है। हम हैं तैयार और आप।
पेयजल एवं स्वच्छता विभाग, जल शक्ति मंत्रालय, भारत सरकार द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
The Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT, has clarified that small startups with turnover up to 25 crore rupees will continue to get the promised tax holiday as specified in the section of the Income Tax Act. The Act provides deduction for 100% of income of an eligible startup for 3 years out of 7 years from the year of its incorporation. According to the Finance Ministry, the CBDT also clarified that all the startups recognized by Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade (DPIIT), which fulfill the conditions specified in the DPIIT notification, did not automatically become eligible for deduction. It said a startup has to fulfill the conditions specified in Section 80IAC of Act for claiming this deduction. India's second lunar craft Chandrayaan-2 has sent a picture of the moon's surface to the Earth yesterday. This is the first picture it has sent after reaching the lunar-bound orbit. A tweet from the National Space Agency ISRO says the picture has been taken by the camera on board the lander of Chandrayaan-2 from 2,650 kilometers above the lunar surface. It may be noted that the lunar craft earlier sent the pictures of the Earth when it was revolving around it on the 4th of this month. More from our correspondent.
The stunning picture taken by Chandrayaan-2's lander Vikram testifies to the high resolution of its camera. It also reinforces the reliability of the communication link between the lunar craft and the ISRO center. The maiden snap of Chandrayaan-2 reveals the 900-kilometer diameter Mare Oriental Basin and a crater almost diagonally opposite called Apollo on the Moon. The crater is at the far side of the Moon, which is not visible to the telescopes mounted on the Earth. More spectacular pictures of the Earth's only natural satellite and valuable data are in the offing from India's second lunar expedition. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
Minister of New and Renewable Energy R.K. Singh has approved the proposal to declare ocean energy as renewable energy. The decision will give boost to the ocean energy in the country. New and Renewable Energy Ministry has also clarified to all the stakeholders that energy produced using various forms of ocean energy such as tidal, wave and ocean thermal energy conversion will be considered as renewable energy. It will be eligible for meeting the non-solar renewable purchase obligations. In West Bengal, CBI interrogated State Tourism Secretary Atri Bhattacharjee in connection with Sharda Chit Fund scam in Kolkata yesterday. A team of CBI officials went to the office of Mr. Bhattacharjee and interrogated for over 3 hours. According to sources, the CBI officials asked the IAS officer on releasing of state government's advertisements to the Sharda Group-run media when he was the Information and Cultural Affairs Secretary. Sources said the investigating agency also asked him regarding releasing money for the salary of the Sarada Group-run newspaper employees from Chief Minister's Relief Fund. Maharashtra Navnirman Sena MNS President Raj Thackeray was grilled by the Enforcement Directorate in a money laundering case yesterday. The officials said that inquiry officer allowed Raj to leave after recording his statement in the case. The officials said that the MNS chief was in the ED office for around 7 hours. Prasar Bharati Chairman Dr. A. Surya Prakash has expressed concern over growing phenomena of fake news, saying it has great elements of disturbing the country's communal harmony. He said, any attempt to disturb India's diversity and communal harmony should be resisted. Dr. Surya Prakash was chairing a session on fake news and its impact on national security during a function in New Delhi today.
Fake news or attempt by anybody to disturb that harmony is something which we have to totally resist so that we preserve our nation the way it is and feel very proud of our diverse nation, and therefore I will say that the citizens have tremendous responsibility in this area. It's not just the job of the government.
The chairman said citizens have a great role in countering fake news which hit the country's plurality. Dr. Surya Prakash said, India's constitution gives guarantee to every citizen to profess his religious and cultural beliefs. On regulating media, he said, there should be self-regulation and media should be conscious of it. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said yesterday that he was deeply concerned by wildfires that have devoured large sections of the Amazon rainforest, blanketing several Brazilian cities in thick smoke. The Secretary General treated that in the midst of the global climate crisis, we cannot afford more damage to a major source of oxygen and biodiversity. He further said the Amazon must be protected. In badminton, two-time silver medalist PV Sindhu produced yet another commanding performance as she demolished Beiwen Zhang of United States in straight games to advance to the quarterfinals of the BWF World Championships in Basel, Switzerland yesterday. Sindhu won 21-14, 21-6 in the women's singles pre-quarterfinals match that lasted just 34 minutes. Sindhu now faces second seed Tai Tzu Ying of Chinese Taipei in the quarterfinals. In the men's singles, B. Sai Praneeth dished out a superlative performance to stun world number 8 Anthony Sinisuka Ginting and progressed to the quarterfinals, but K. Srikanth and H.S. Pranoy suffered defeats to bow out of the showpiece event. In cricket put into bat, India were 203 for 6 at stumps on the opening day of their World Test Championship encounter against the West Indies at Antigua last night. Ajinkya Rahane top scored with 81. The other significant contribution came from opener KL Rahul, who made 44. Earlier, West Indies won the toss and elected to field first. The World Anti-Doping Agency WADA has suspended the accreditation of the India's National Dope Testing Laboratory NDTL for 6 months in what could be a massive blow to anti-doping movement in the country with less than a year left for Tokyo Olympics. It is understood that National Anti-Doping Agency can still carry on with sample collection of blood and urine, but will have to get it tested by a different WADA accredited laboratory outside India during the suspension period of NDTL. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Sanjay Mattu.
Thank you, Abhishek. Former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram's remand to CBI custody grabs top headline space across national dailies this morning. CBI gets Chidambaram custody for 4 days. His plea in SC Today reads the lead headline in the Indian Express. DRDO's plan to add a heavier standoff capacity weapon to IAF's arsenal is noted in the Hindustan Times, which writes indigenous light combat aircraft targeted by 2022. The latest warning from intelligence agencies is noticed in the Hindu, which writes Afghan Pashtun fighters poised to enter J&K. The paper adds over 100 trained militants positioned by Pak at LOC. Indices hit 6-month low as stimulus hope fades, reports the Business Standard on the latest fall in the equity markets. And finally, wondering what gets into space next? Well, the Times of India has the answer. It writes, meet Fedor. First Russian humanoid bot goes to space. And with that, it's back to you, Abhishek.
Thanks, Sanjay. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds talks with French President Emmanuel Macron, India and France to expand cooperation in areas of counter-terrorism and security. French President says India and Pakistan should resolve Kashmir issue bilaterally and no third party should interfere or incite violence in the region. CBDT says small startups with turnover up to 25 crore rupees to continue to get the promised taxed holiday. And in badminton, PV Sindhu advances to quarterfinals of BWF World Championship in Basel, Switzerland. With that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.